Welcome. Thank you, Chairman and Stefan, for inviting me and organizing this extraordinary energy forum for Central and Eastern Europe. Such a pity that I can't be physically among you in Romania. My name, as you mentioned, is BURKHARD von KIENITZ. I'm working for E.ON in the corporate headquarter in Essen, and I especially loved my time in Romania when I could experience beautiful country, nice and open people, and great hospitality. By the way, I enjoyed yesterday the introduction movie with great Rhapsody music recorded in the wonderful countryside. It captures really nice impression. For me, it was a journey through time, and I hope that we will meet next June in person in Kostinest. And I can recommend to all of the audience to go back to yesterday to watch this introduction. I will not focus on COVID in Germany. I assume a broader perspective is more valuable for you. So my topic is energy transition in Germany, targets, E.ON's strategic responding, and my personal lesson learned. Have you already heard about the German word Energiewende? It means energy transition. This meanwhile so famous that it's now part of the English vocabulary. Since we in the World Energy Council are a global community, or let's say a family of energy experts, I don't want to bother you with a beautiful colored speech, advertising and praising everything. This might be suitable for a public event, but wasted time for you. Therefore, you will not hear an official position of E.ON or aligned statements, instead just my individual and personal lessons learned and opinion. Energiewende, so German energy transition, started already 20 years ago with a nuclear exit decided by German government. Reason? Were security concerns in German society connected with nuclear. Later, we added the extension of renewables as a core target to tackle climate change. And recently, the complete coal exit as another additional target. And to make it very clear, although the targets might be partly contradictory and not all paying in the same bulk, it's a broad consensus in German society to pursue these goals simultaneously. And I think it is not worthwhile to discuss anymore whether we should do all this in addition and simultaneously. So on the nuclear side, we strictly follow the phase out path and will finalize the exit in 2 years from now on. Quite heavy. If you consider that this carbon-friendly source made a quarter of the total power production just a few years ago. And getting a high share of renewables in Germany is a challenge. We don't have the carpet mountains across the country. We only have few mountains and are really not sun-spoiled. Nevertheless, we managed to increase the share of renewable energy in power production from just 7% in 2000 to more than 40% last year. We achieved this predominantly based on subsidies for private producer. They have no volume and no price risk, and we as DSO have to invoice and collect the billions from all household customers and pass it through to the renewable producer. Really no task that makes oneself popular. I could show you slides and pictures that illustrate how dramatically our landscape and reality has changed meanwhile. As a consequence, our old business model of a vertical integrated energy company was broken into pieces. And we changed our strategy dramatically. We made a cut through all businesses and all markets and split ourselves into two companies that are completely separate. Uniper, caring for markets and system, and E.ON, caring for processes around the customer. That means energy grid and services in all countries. And public opinion usually connects energy transition with a view on wind and solar parks. But the distribution networks are the internet of the energy transition. they connect and integrate all renewables. And without smart solution and innovation, constant innovation in our grid, nothing would happen. Once we as E.ON has established ourselves in the new structure successfully, a one-time opportunity came across to grow substantially, exact in these focused businesses, and we acquired energy from RWE. This roughly doubled our size in main aspects and allow us to really innovate, be innovative and bundling our capabilities. And E.ON is driving the energy transition. 1 out of 5 renewable assets across Europe is connected to E.ON grids. And together with our clients, we avoided roughly more than 100 million tons of carbon emission per year. Integration is still ongoing, and it's really no takeover. All of us, new and old colleagues, are currently building a new E.ON together. And by the way, I hope that we are not only busy with ourselves, but find time to concentrate on best service for our more than 50 million customers in Germany, Romania, and many other countries. Back to the Energiewende. I'll try a cash check. Energy transition was successful when you look at the targets for renewable and power sector. We exceeded the ambitious target for renewable share in the electricity production and reached 42% and have integrated in Germany almost 2 million distributed and volatile renewable installations. And during Corona, we even experienced a time machine flight, up to 60% renewable share we saw across Germany. And we managed to keep the system stable. As Angela mentioned yesterday, the world stopped, but the lights stayed on. But the time machine showed us another thing. We need a new market design with a record in the market value for renewable production. The market value fell into the bottomless. We need to change this and to adapt to reflect the value, not only of flexibility, but also renewable generation properly. We met the targets, but to be honest, not in a cost-effective way. We now pay 30 billion per year subsidizing renewables. And in addition to this, we decided the coal exit, and we did it almost like a planning economy, decided at what year which power plant has to close down. And Great Britain and Spain choose another way and just put a carbon price and significant carbon price on it. And then industry has to react and has to follow it. We in Germany did it more in micromanagement and concrete decisions. I think it's not the best decision and not the best way. And this was electricity, where we're not so brilliant when it comes to other targets. Traffic, especially, also heating, are really not on track for energy transition. We in Germany tend to concentrate and see only power transition when we speak about energy transition. And this, the government is now tackling this and going to change. What do we need to change and what do we need for the future? In my opinion, we need definitely sector coupling to decarbonize traffic, industrial processes, and heating. And this requires a significant and increasing carbon price fixed across all sectors. As I mentioned, that would help despite or to abandon all the micromanagement and measures around coal and other things. We need further to relieve electricity from the burden to carry all costs of energy transition. This hinders electricity to be competitive against oil and gas to decarbonize other sectors. The government has started to tackle this. Hopefully they get it through against all opponents. We need to support hydrogen. There not the carbon price is enough. We need to start and to get this on the road to reach market scale and support use cases for hydrogen for industrial processes. And also for traffic and heating. Due to our limited space, we need to foster, therefore, international import cooperation, as we covered in the World Energy Council and discuss this also there. And this will also help to establish industries in not so established regions of the world. And for individuals, it is not enough to fight climate change on an abstract level with high percentage figures for the future. We need to take personal responsibility and reflect also our behavior. Accept energy transmission lines or a wind park in the neighborhood and question driving an SUV or going for a cruise. How to help the climate? Finally, I think as a role model instead of a front runner. Germany, even Europe in total, is quite small on a global scale, but we are responsible for climate change. And if we just act as a front runner and become carbon neutral but damage our economy, no one will follow us. If we, on the other hand, be a role model and demonstrate that we become carbon neutral in a socially accepted way and keep our industry alive, this will convince others. And by this, we really help the climate. Thank you very much.